What's going on, people? Welcome to the Blue Steel Podcast Show. I am your co-host, LV Live, along with my co-host, Jeff. People, thank you for coming through and supporting us. Thank you for all your comments. Continue to keep them coming. We're getting great content, can't even get it out. We're getting great comments and great things coming back from a lot of you great people. We appreciate it. Just keep it coming, keep it flowing. Once again, please hit that like, share, subscribe button. Also, too, hit that bell notification to get notifications for our up-and-coming shows. Once again, let's get straight into it. It's our quick hitter for the day. The Suns looked amazing last night. They smoked the Denver Nuggets last night. Chris Paul, and the rest of the supporting cast. What say you, Jeff?
No, they play really well at home. They shoot the ball exceptionally well at home. They just stomped them dudes. There ain't really much else to say. One by 25, I believe. Yeah, that was just a major. That was. Sometimes it happens in the playoffs, but not looking good for Denver at all.
Right, very true. You know what's funny is that as I'm sitting there watching the game, and I'm just saying to myself, is Chris Paul getting younger or is he getting older? Like he's just found the fountain of youth. The way he was making those crossovers in and out, just alley-oops. He looked like he was back in Lob City, man, back with the Clippers. I mean, it was just amazing how he looks, man. And you know what? It's funny because each team that he goes to gets better, right?
Yeah.
The same thing, right? The same thing happened last year with
OKC.
Who was he with? I'm sorry, it was OKC. Right. They did the same thing, and now he's got Devin Booker. They have Bridges. They have what's the big man in the middle? I keep on forgetting his name. Right. They have him in the middle. They just got a lot of pieces, man. A lot of pieces and a lot of guys that. I knew of because I remember Bridges when he was in college. He was at Villanova. He was really good at Villanova. But you forgot about him because he comes in the NBA, right? But Jeff.
No, I was gonna say Bridges. That's funny because his mom works for Philly and they traded him the same day. But he's definitely the type of player you need in the NBA. 3D player, good athlete. They got a good squad. James Jones has done a good job with the team.
Yeah, definitely, because you got to think they were in the cellar years ago, and then they just used that to get those picks, and now you're seeing pretty much the creation of that, getting all those picks, those players developing, and they just look great. I just think also too, Jeff. I think the Nuggets are done because where the series would have been great, Jeff, if Jamal Murray was there. That's who's the missing piece for what they have, because they're a really good team. The Nuggets are, but he's their alpha. He's their ace. And when he's rolling, as we saw last year when they played against Utah, and he's averaging 30 and he's shooting them threes, they look like a totally different team, Jeff. What say you, sir?
Yeah, he's definitely obviously missing piece. I don't think Jamal Murray's as good as he played in the playoffs last year in the bubble. There's been several players that have proved they're not as great as they looked in that environment. So I'm not like a big believer in like I don't think he's as good as he looked in the playoffs last year. So he's good. He's just not. He played exceptionally well, and he was top 3-4 player last year in the bubble. He's not that good of a player. So, but they definitely miss him. But I'm not sold in the camp of him like being some all-star level player every year, like he showed in the playoffs. So,
right, Joker. Hey, look, man, he's an NBA player, and it's funny because I'm watching the Joker, and he looks smooth, man. It looks like the game just it slows down for him. He never
crafty.
Looks rattled.
He's crafty.
Right. He never looks like he's on edge. He never looks like everything is just smooth for him. He doesn't have any issues with anything, and watching him pretty much play. But he's missing another piece, man. He needs another piece. And I think that's where Murray pretty much comes in and helps him out. It could possibly help them with the momentum or whatever, because once the Suns get rolling, man, they start hitting them shots from threes. Chris Paul is running that fast break. They look unbeatable, Jeff. They really, really do. Question for you, sir. Is the series over, Jeff?
It's over. Like they're not – I can't see – Denver might win game 3 maybe, but they're not going to beat the Suns. I don't think there's any chance of that happening without barring any major injuries or anything. I think it's over.
Okay, yeah. I say the Suns in 5. I say the Suns in 5.
I could easily see that. Yep.
I think the Nuggets still won at home, but I think the Suns at 5. If this goes further than 5, I'll be extremely, extremely shocked by that. So we got to see what happens. But back off same way with the NBA tonight. We got some big games. I believe, Jeff, that the Bucks are in a must-win tonight at home against the Nets. If they don't win tonight, Jeff, it is definitely over for your boy, the Greek Freak, Jeff.
Yeah, man. They gotta win. And I mean, they're not gonna win the series anyway, but they don't want to get swept. They better win tonight. I think that's it's gonna be 4 or 5 games, and that'll be determined tonight. If they lose tonight, they might as well just cancel game 4 because it's over. They're not gonna win anyway. So
yeah, I mean, and kind of was getting a debate with a couple of our people over there who were sending comments in. I'll say his name, my boy Ian. What's going on, Ian? How you doing? He was pretty much making statements in regards to the Bucks. He don't think that they'll pretty much get rid of the team or blow the team up with his performance. Ian, listen, buddy, I love you, Ian. Sorry, but they gotta blow it. Listen, listen, Giannis, they're paying him way too much money. When you're getting paid top dollar like that in the league, top dollar, he's getting the max contract. You have to produce. You have to produce. Period. End of story. It's not about winning and getting to the finals or winning and getting to the conference final. It ain't about that, Jeff. You know that. If you're getting max dollars, they're expecting a championship. That's right, Jeff. And if you're not getting that, they're gonna look for other people to say, you know what? Look, man, check it out. We like him, but maybe he can do better on your team. How about this? How about you take over his contract? We get some draft picks. We can work this out. What do you think about that? That's what they'll do with some teams.
Yeah, I think that they'll keep Greek Freak because they don't want to lose him in terms of trading. That looks bad if you sign an extension on good faith with them and then you trade him next year. But Middleton, he needs to put his house on the market because I trade him like right after when we lose game 4 or 5. I trade him the next day. He needs to go. He's up there in the playoffs. So you got to move on. You got to get you got to make changes, including the coach. Right. Coach got to go. There's going to be a lot of changes in Milwaukee once they lose.
Very true. Hey, Jeff, their best player is Jrue Holiday, man. That can't happen.
Right. He's not a perennial all-star. I don't think he's ever going to. So that's not going to work. Look good in the regular season, look good in the first round. When you step up to the big boys.
Right. Hey, listen, this is where you earn that max contract.
Right.
In the playoffs.
This is why we pay you that money. Right.
This is where you earn it. And the Greek Freak's not earning his money. You know what I'm saying? So listen, I give them 2 more years. 2 more years, they'll pretty much take the bite of that. The end of that contract, I can see them saying if they don't get any further, they're going to say, okay, you know what? Let's see if someone else would take up the end of this contract and take up the rest, and maybe we can ship them, get some draft picks, see where we can go, because you can't continue on this road. You just can't.
No.
All right? And in closing, Jeff, tonight, your boy Playoff P is back at it, Jeff.
Dude.
What say you, sir? What is he going to do tonight? Because Donovan Mitchell looked like, oh, man, he looked like Dame Dollar out there. What do you say, Jeff?
No, he's getting into that suit. He's in that superstar status now, man.
Yeah.
I didn't know if he would. Perennial all-star. I was like, there's a big difference between level 5 and level 4, even 4.5 for 4-star player in the NBA. 5 is a guy that can carry the team to multiple playoff series. He's not a lot of those guys, but he's shown that he's that dude. Playoff P's being Playoff P, which is terrible. 4 for 7.
Well, Jeff, you got to tell people who we mean by when we say Playoff P.
Oh, Paul George, my bad, if you don't know. Playoff P. Man, that dude, he just doesn't show up. He just doesn't show up in the big games. He even really played okay in game 7, but Kawhi did it, which you expect, but come on, man. They gave him an extension. Like, he just doesn't get it done in the playoffs, man. Like you said, this is where you earn your money. And he's not one of those guys that you can depend on at all for playoff performances. He can do a couple games, game 3, 4, but when it's on the line, he don't show up.
Yeah. I mean, Jeff, that's been pretty much – he's been pretty consistent with that, right, from Indiana?
Yep. And he was supposed to be the man there, which is why he was the
man. He was the man in Indiana.
And it didn't show up there either when it counted.
So I mean, listen. He's a perfect example of what I mean by when I'm talking about the Greek Freak. Because Paul George, he's supposed to be a superstar player in this league. That's how they look at him because he can play on both ends on the floor. He's just that caliber of a player during the regular season.
He's an all-star player. That's it.
Right? But when we get to the trenches, the playoffs time, like Jeff's saying, this is the problem with him. And this is where now they're going to have to start reevaluating that team also. If they put up if they put up another performance, because what's the series at now, Jeff? 1-0?
1-0.
Okay. I'm calling this a must-win for the Clippers tonight. And he's got to play well. Got to
step up.
He's got to play well. Even if Donovan
Mitchell goes win a championship.
So. Listen, even if Donovan Mitchell goes for 50 tonight, 50.
Got to put up some numbers.
Paul George got to go for like 35. And they going back and forth, and forth.
It's not going to happen. Maybe Kawhi I can see, but
coming from a Lakers fan, I would not be surprised at that statement. Hey, man, great show, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hey, people, thank you for coming by. Thank you for coming back for our quick hitter. We'll be back next week to give you a breakdown of what we feel like the finals are going to look like. And excuse me, just the NBA and anything that goes on with sports. I'm going to break it down next week. But yeah, continue to hit that like, share, subscribe button. Please keep flooding us with those comments. As like I did today, I will definitely mention some of them to talk about it because I think I want to hear you guys pretty much be involved with this whole sports thing and me and Jeff love also. Also, too, hit that bell icon for us for notifications for our show. All right? Yo, Jeff, man, great job, my man.
Yes, sir. Let's do it.
All right, brother. I'm going to holler at you, man.
All right, later.
All right, later.